I just bought a bunch of brand new VAULTX binders and I'm going to fill them up with all the One Piece sets from OP01 to OP11. This isn't just a binder setup, this is a journey through my entire One Piece TCG collection and how far it's come. Let's see if it all fits and what I'm still missing. Almost forgot, cancel out cards and binders without these. Always use protection, folks. If you're new to the channel, myself and Emily have been collecting Pokemon cards for quite a long time, and I would consider ourselves huge set collectors, with nearly 60 completed Pokemon sets, on top of owning some of the top chase cards that every collector would love to get their hands on. But One Piece has found a special place in our collection and our channel, and it just started off as a bit of fun, opening a few packs, chasing down certain cards that we wanted, and never about completing any sets. But after an explosive first video on the channel, which was only originally supposed to be a one-off passion project, turned into the most viewed content on our channel. It's insane to think that our One Piece journey started all the way back in December of 2022. When Emily pulled a simple Luffy super rare, we were hooked. And that would lead to our first secret rare pull, then our first alt art pull, and then to the huge collection that you'll see today. So how am I going to organise this huge collection? Each binder will contain 2 full sets each, and each set will be in number order, with alt arts being next to their super rare and leader counterparts. Manga rares will not be going in the binder, as we will be grading them to preserve them, as they are the main chase cards of every set. I do want to do a separate binder for all the promos, pre-release cards, and the special sets like EB01, EB02 and PRB, and like the gift collection sets, stuff like that. But perhaps we'll do that in another video if you guys really want to see it. So let's start where it all began, with OP01 Romance Dawn. Released back in December of 2022, which was released alongside the first 4 starter decks. OP01 was based around the Wano arc, which was where the anime was up to at the time. The main chase cards of this set were the alt art leader Law, Luffy, Zoro and Doflamingo, alt art Nami and Zoro, Mihawk, the secret rare Yamato, and of course the manga rare Shanks. In total, we managed to complete 87% of the set. That's 136 out of 156 cards. That leaves us with only 20 more cards to go. Our favourite cards of this set include the Captain Kid and Mihawk alt art, the secret rare Yamato, and the alt art leader Law, which is now a PSA 10. We also ended up pulling a spare Captain Kid, which we also had graded, and is now a PSA 10. OP01 is unfortunately out of print, but we do have another OP01 box to open in a future big One Piece opening, which we're hoping to do very soon. Hopefully we can pull a couple more of those chase cards that we're after, like the Zoro, the Nami, the alt art leader Doflamingo, because otherwise it's going to be a slow grind to pick up the singles. Released in March of 2023, OP02 Paramount War was the set that introduced the colour black in the form of the Navy, and this was based around the war between the Navy and the Whitebeard Pirates, with some sprinkled in Impel Down and Film Red cards. The main chase cards from OP02 were of course the Newgate and Smoker alt art leaders, along with the alt art Red Ace and Marco, Green Nami and Luffy, and Black Kuzon with Borsalino, along with of course the manga rare Ace. We've completed 89% of the set so far, that's 140 out of 156 cards, and this is the set where I pulled my first ever alt art leader in Sanji, which is why it remains one of my favourite cards in this set. Other favourites include the Newgate leader alt art, the Nami and Luffy, and of course the donut maker himself, Sakazuki. We also had the spare alt art Marco and Sakazuki that we'd sent off to PSA, and they both came back at 10. We were then gifted this Beckett 9.5 Japanese Luffy, which we also have a spare English one of that we're going to be sending off to PSA for grading very soon. OP02 still remains one of my favourite early sets, and I cannot wait to open more in the future and add more to this binder. Players of Strength was released in June of 2023, and this set brought so many new things with it. A new colour in yellow was added to the game, and the special prints, or SPs as they're known, made their first appearance in the set of the wanted posters of Luffy, Kid, Dofi and Kaido. This is where they also changed the style of the alt art leaders with these colour washed effects that I think look so eye-catching and it just pops. The chase cards of the set were of course all the SP Wanted posters, the Nami and Katakuri alt art leader, the Katakuri secret rare alt art, and the manga rare Soga King. This is the set where I started to learn how to play the game, and the deck I learned to play was with the OP01 Zoro, but after I'd mastered all the rules, I moved on to playing Katakuri. Overall, just like OP02, we've completed 89% of the set, with some key cards ticked off. We'll have this set smashed in no time. Some of our favourite cards we own are the 4 alt art leaders that we've pulled, and the PSA Puddin, Katakuri, and Wanted Luffy card. We'd love to get our hands on all the rest of the alt art leaders for this set, as I believe this is the main reason you should be opening this set. So I'll be keeping a close eye out on all the card shows to see if I can pick them up and add them to the collection. Kingdoms of Intrigue marks the last set in the early era of sets, which I'm calling the Dawn era. Released in September of 2023, this set was based on the nostalgic Alabasta arc and probably one of my personal favourite arcs, Dressrosa. This set had some of the coolest looking alt art leaders like the Vivi with the Straw Hat crew, Crocodile with Baroque works, and of course my favourite, Doflamingo with the Don Quixote pirates. The main chase cards of this set are the SP Boa and Law, Doflamingo and Rebecca alt art leaders, and the manga rare Sabo. I opened up a ton of this set when it first released, and because of that we've managed to complete 94% of OP04, that's 148 out of 158 cards, with only 10 more to go. We've been super lucky with this set to have pulled so many of our chase cards, but nothing will compare to the feeling of pulling one of the gems of our One Piece collection, the manga rare Sabo. We even had him graded and were completely overwhelmed with joy when he came back as a PSA 10. This set also came with dash packs, which you got when purchasing from your local card shop. They came with alternative artworks in holo of 6 cards from OP03. I'm still missing the purple Luffy, but I have put them at the back of OP04 for now. Let me know if you think they should go next to their OP03 counterparts, or do they belong in the back of OP04. We're still chasing down the Boa and Law SPs as they're the only ones we're missing, but we'd also love to pick up the Rebecca leader and alt art Sanji and Beige. This set is very special to me and Emily as we've managed to capture some of our best pulls on the channel, and now we get to watch and relive those incredibly fun moments. But now on to OP05. OP05's release marks the first year anniversary of the TCG, and with the success of the Netflix show and the impact of the Gear 5 awakening in the anime caused a wave of new fans over to the TCG, and OP05 would not disappoint. This set not only introduced probably the best style of SPs with the colourful backgrounds and the gold embossed textures, and not only does it not have 1, not 2, but 3 manga rares. And to top it all off, it also features a Luffy card illustrated and signed by Oda himself, making it a must own for every serious One Piece collector. Apart from the SPs and manga rares, other chase cards from the set included the Enel, Luffy and Sakazuki alt art leaders, Zorajuro, Rebecca and Rob Lucci alt arts. Because of the high demand, it was very hard to get hold of this set after the first wave of products. Luckily now it's a lot easier to get hold of, and we've obtained 145 out of 158 cards. That's a respectable 91% of the set. This set is going to be a lot of fans' first set into the TCG, and even more people's favourite due to the impact Gear 5 had on the world of anime. This would kick off what a number of fans have dubbed the Momentum Era. Released in March of 2024, Wings of the Captain brought us a bunch of new archetypes with Germa 66, Thriller Bark and Fishman Island, along with more support for the Navy, Film and Wano decks. This set was also the first to introduce an exclusive card in English called the Treasure Rare, and this card was a little controversial. Bruh. Yeah, a lot of people genuinely hated the look of this card. I can kinda see why. Fun fact, the Chinese also got their own treasure rare as well, and both have had different exclusive cards for each set since, and the French have even had their own treasure rare since OP09 too. The main chase cards of this set are the Buggy and Rebecca SPs, the Yamato and Reiju alt art leaders, and the Gecko Moria before it got banned, and the manga rare Zoro. In total, we've managed to complete 92% of the set so far. That's 143 out of 154 cards with only 11 to go. OP06 has had a lot of important cards that would continue to shape the meta even in today's format. Some examples are the Holy Jones is still played in most green decks because of its rush ability, the Onami and Hirori saw play in Katakuri for quite some time, and You're the One Who Should Disappear still sees play in every yellow deck today. Some of our favourites we pulled include the Yamato Leader, the Buggy and Miss All Sunday SPs, and the Reiju and Zoro Alt Arts. And I'm hoping to get my hands on either the Linlin SP or Uta Leader next for the binder. OP06 has certainly left its mark on not only the game, but every collector's binder too, as there's something unique in this set for every fan. OP07 takes us into the future, specifically 500 years in the future. This set was mostly based around the current events of the anime at Egghead Island, the fights against CP0, and the battle for Amazon Lily. Chase cards of the set include the Onami SP, Bonnie, Boa and Rob Lucci leaders, and the Sanji, Luffy and Ace Alt Arts, and the manga rare Boa. We've obtained 139 out of 154 cards, meaning we're still missing 15 cards from OP07, giving us a total of 90% completed. But I have to say this set has so many cool alt arts and SPs, I actually can't wait to add more to the binder because the cards look so fantastic. Some of our favourites we pulled are the Bonnie alt art, the Vegapunk leader, the Treasure Rare Law, and the Ace and Sabo secret rare alt arts as they look insane next to each other. This set is still one of the coolest modern sets to be collecting and is still widely available even today, and leaders like the Bonnie, Vegapunk and Rob Lucci are still seeing niche play in the competitive scene. If you haven't started collecting OP07, maybe this is your call to start. Released in September of 2024, OP082 Legends marks the final set of the Momentum era. This set not only gave us new support for the Whitebeard, Big Mom and Animal Kingdom pirates, but 2 whole new archetypes in the Drum Kingdom and the Minx. As well as getting 6 new leaders that all seemed competitively viable on release, they also brought back my favourite style of SPs, and I wanted them all. The main chase cards from this set were the Bonnie and Ace SPs, the Chopper, Marco and Pudding leaders, Linlin and Black Maria alt arts, the Treasure Rare Luffy, and the Silver's Rayleigh manga rare. I had a lot of fun opening this set and was very lucky with my pulls, and which is why we've completed 94% of the set. That's 145 out of 154 cards, leaving only 9 cards left. That's the closest set we have to 100% so far. I also started playing Pudding as one of the main decks I ran, and is still my personal number 1 deck even today. We actually have too many favourite cards from this set to list them all, but ones we are still chasing are the Marco and Carrot leader and the SP Ace. At the end of the day, OP08 might not be the most popular set, but it's certainly one I really enjoyed opening, and you never know, it might become the first set I fully master. The release of OP09 marks the 2nd year anniversary of the TCG and the beginning of the New World era. This set is based on the rise of the current 4 Emperors and their powerful crews, with each Emperor getting not just their own alt art leader, but a wanted poster SP and a manga rare each. Not only did we get the new gold embossed SPs, a Zoro treasure rare, and the Pirate King himself, Goldie Roger, as a gold manga rare, making OP09 the most stacked set to date. Chase cards included all 4 Emperors and all their cards, the Boa and Nami SPs, Nika Robin and Perona alt arts, and of course the gold manga rare Roger. The hype around this set was insanely similar to OP05's release. This meant that getting hold of products after the first wave was super hard, and only really available from Bandai stores who were also enforcing purchase limits. Because of this, OP09 is probably the set we've opened the least out of every set, giving us a total of 82% completed. That's 133 out of 162 cards. Some of our favourite pulls so far include the Wanted Buggy SP, Luffy Leader, and the Sanji and Mihawk alt arts. There's still so many that we still need, and a couple of our main chase cards are of course the Wanted Luffy, the Boa SP, the Zoro Treasure Rare, and the alt art leader Buggy. Emperors in the New World was such a pivotal set for both players and collectors, and you can bet that we're going to open up some more in the near future and hopefully add more to the binder. Royal Blood was released in March of 2025, featuring brand new archetype of Punk Hazard, while giving us new leaders and support for both Dressrosa, the Don Quixote Pirates, and the Supernovas. OP01 was also the first set to introduce a new alternative style of cards, the gold stamped events. Some of the main chase cards from this set were the Smoker and Usopp leaders, the Newgate and Usohachi SPs, and the Manga Rare Law. I was very excited to be getting new Dressrosa support, as I did play Rebecca back in the day, so I really wanted to get my hands on not only just the Usopp leader, but the Kiros, Rebecca and Don Flamingo alt arts, as well as the Newgate and Flampe SPs. As this set is still fairly new, we still have a little ways to catch up with most of the other sets, as only having 87% of the set completed, that's 133 out of 152 cards. I recently started playing the Law Leader, and I'm still missing 2 secret rares to play in the deck, so I have an excuse to be opening more. Our favourite pulls from the set so far are the Smoker, Rebecca and Doflamingo alt arts, as well as the Flampe SP. And without a doubt, the best pull from Royal Blood is our second ever manga rare. And yes, Law will be going off to grading with a bunch of other cards very soon. I've been having a lot of fun with the set, as there's a lot of cool cards to collect, and as Dressrosa is one of my all-time favourite arts, I can't wait to open more of this set on the channel and finally pull that Usopp leader that I've been chasing. OP11, A Fist of Divine Speed, released in June of 2025 and focuses on the Whole Cake and Fishman Island arcs, while also introducing the Special Navy Forces group, Sword. Along with popular characters like Katakuri, Nami and Shirahoshi getting new leader cards, as well as probably the best leader in the game so far, Snake Man Luffy, who also got a manga rare too. This set also received these 3rd year anniversary special print cards of Gear 5 Luffy in both gold and silver. Other chase cards from OP11 are the Luffy, Nami and Katakuri alt art leaders, the Sanji, Luffy Taro and Shanks SP, and the Nami, Zeus and Katakuri alt arts. As this set was only released a month ago as of making this video, I still think that we've done pretty well with this set, completing 87% of the set so far. That's 133 out of 152 cards. The Whole Cake Island support was great for my Pudding deck, so of course my chase cards were the Katakuri leader and alt art, Pudding and Big Mom, the Nami and Zeus, and all the SPs were gorgeous. OP11 may not be my favourite set, but there are plenty of great cards to collect, and I think fans will keep coming back to this set, not only for a chance to pull the gold and silver special Luffy cards, but for some of those meta-defining cards as well. I just want to briefly show off some of the other cards in our collection that don't have homes. So we've got a bunch of like different leaders, like these are all the EB01 leaders, and then we've got a bunch of promos and other like starter deck ones that I keep in here. Some Japanese promos, some winner cards. So yeah, all of these just don't technically have a home at the moment. And here is really the beginning of EB01, some of these alt arts. And I think we're really close to completing EB01. I think we only need like 3 cards left. And then we go into EB02 and immediately there is the manga rare Luffy, which Emily pulled on the channel. We ended up pulling it at work. It's like the most expensive card in our collection as well. And yeah, we will be sending this off to grading very, very soon. Like, I think we're going like at the end of the month, like we're going down in person to like hand all these cards in for grading. And then we go on to the 2023 gift collection, which we're only missing 2 cards from that as well. We're missing the Zoro and Frankie. There was no Brook card, which I thought was really weird. And then we go on to PRB01, where in this binder, I think we ended up pulling like 95% of the cards in here. I think we've only purchased like 1 or 2. And I love this set. I absolutely love PRB. We actually did a huge like 100 pack opening on the channel. Like seriously, go check that out. It was a lot of fun. And then we come to the like full art parts of PRB, which I really love these full arts. I really wish Bandai would make more of these, like, because these are just like good playable cards that don't have alt arts, but the full arts, they feel that like higher rarity for me. And there Emily knocking it out the park again by pulling the gold Don, which we ended up pulling very like recently, this year in fact. And then to finish it off, all of these textured Dons, which I really want to get my hands on the rest of them as well. Another thing I want to quickly show off are the PSA magazine promos. Like, we've got these 2. There is a 3rd one, and that's the Shanks, which we will pick up at some point in the future. And we will be sending these off to grading because I didn't want to just take them out of their plastic and just have them in a binder. I think they're too cool to not have like graded. So yeah, these will be going off with the rest of the other stuff very soon. I feel so proud of this collection, as it's come such a long way since the first release back in 2022, and I get so much joy out of opening, collecting, and playing the TCG. My personal goal is to have at least one of these sets 100% complete before the end of the year. And as we've got a huge One Piece opening that we're going to be doing in the near future, and 2 big card shows that we're going to, it's entirely possible. And next year I'm planning on going to even more One Piece events, at like pre-releases and the treasure cuts, and I'm going to be putting my skills to the test. With OP12 only a month away and another set to try and complete, I'm going to need even more of these VAULTX binders for this ever-growing One Piece collection. So remember to use our codes for 10% off your first order, and let me know which is your favourite One Piece set that you're collecting, and how do you organise your collection. If you made it to the end of the video, a huge thank you for following me on this One Piece card journey, and I can't wait to see how far this collection grows in the next year. See you guys in the next video.